All right, a few weeks ago, I received an email, and let's start with that. It said, "Hello, Courtney. I saw your video on YouTube about visiting the Goodwill outlet and would like to invite you to our new thrift store. We have just opened our 20,000 square foot store with over 20,000 items of clothing. This is the first of 3 stores planned in the LA area. We have flat pricing. If you would like to visit the store, we can arrange a time before we open or after we close for you to look around or even have a fashion show. Please let us know. We look forward to hearing from you." I get a lot of emails, a lot of sponsorship requests, a lot of things like that, but I don't get a lot of emails from thrift stores. And so it did make me a little curious, but when they said that they would give me some sort of special treatment, I just kind of blew it off. If I could have any superpower, it would just to be invisible when I go thrifting. And so this didn't stand out to me initially as anything I would want to do. But a week or two passed and I thought, they might be opening 2 more thrift stores, seems pretty large. Maybe it's going to be a great spot to do some thrift with me. And while I would never take them up on the special treatment, I thought, is there a way to see the store without seeing it myself and possibly being recognized because of my hair, which is how people spot me. So I asked my mom. She was passing through the area and I said, "Hey, do you by chance think you could stop by the store to see what kind of brands they have, some of their price points? Just give me an idea of if you think this would be worthwhile down the road to maybe do a thrift with me." Now, I know they're probably trying to get some free marketing from people on YouTube, but this channel isn't really to try and show which stores people should go to if they're in the area, because most people watching this channel aren't even in the Southern California area. This is just to show some of the things I'm finding, some of the brands, some of the price points I'm seeing, just as entertainment for this channel. And it would be really unfortunate if I was honest and shared this thrift store because my mom didn't find that much good stuff. But I did think it would be interesting to show you some of the stuff that they had and just in general kind of talk through her experience. So let's just jump into some of her footage of what she found, and at the end I'll show you if she picked up a few things. All right, first up, I don't know where they get their product. I'm assuming it's a combination of pallets and donations. You can see here there are a lot of shoes, new in box, definitely no brands to write home about. I think it's reasonable pricing if someone were shopping for themselves and their family and weren't concerned with brands, but definitely not anything that a reseller like myself would want to pick up. And also, just to highlight, this is a new thrift store and it is a huge space. And so my mom did notice that there are actually quite a bit of empty areas, assuming they are going to fill those in. But here are some of the shoes that probably are thrifted, not in the best condition, but that's typical of all thrift stores, so I don't knock them for that. You never know what someone's willing to buy, maybe just for 1 or 2 uses, but she definitely didn't find any shoes worth picking up. All right, so as the email to me said, they do have flat pricing, which is fairly uncommon in Los Angeles, but it was $5.99 for pants. Here it says $9.99 for jeans. Again, really great pricing for someone to shop for themselves, but a little steep if you're buying lower end or lower dollar items for reselling. So $4.99 or $5 for an active top. You'll see here some of the brands are just typical. We see them at all the thrift stores. We pass on most of them. Again, not a bad deal if you're shopping for yourself, but most of these brands I wouldn't even pick up at the bins or even really list if they were free. So, and tops are easiest to kind of show some of the labels. So she did focus on tops a little bit here, but yeah. So she knows I'm not a huge fan of skirts, so she didn't even spend any time there, but she went over to sweaters and sweatshirts. $5.99 is actually not bad, and she spotted this new with tags, John and Jen. This does have a Nordstrom rack tag, but it's definitely not a brand that does particularly well on the resale market. She grabbed it just to look up comps, just to be safe, but she put it back. Here's a Disney. We find a lot of Disney stuff in Southern California, so that's not surprising. But here you can see more empty shelves. Again, I don't knock them. They've only been open for a short period of time. But here's a few things that she picked up. Here's a Free People top that she knows I'm very picky with Free People. This was a size small, so definitely not worth the $6 that they were asking, because I'd probably only be able to get about 15 for that. She knows I love camo, and this is a size medium, which is a little better of a size, but again, at $6, This would have been really tough to get more than 15, especially with this pilling. It's just well loved. It doesn't make it a bad purchase for someone on their own, just not a great resale item. Here's a new with tags Victoria's Secret, and while the price on this, the retail, isn't terrible, it's actually missing the bottom, so it was part of a set. So yeah, she left this behind. She did put everything away in the right spot, but she was just trying her best to get some decent footage. Here's McGinn. I've actually sold some career wear from this brand, so I think she looked this up. It had some fun little fringe accents on the sleeve, but it did have some wash wear, some pulling, and it just wasn't in the best condition. So yeah, it just wasn't worth picking up. She knows one of my favorite bread and butter brands is Soft Surroundings, but I definitely don't pick up all of it. Again, at $6, that is fairly steep. Now this one and I believe the next item are both plus size, and I do like the crochet accent on the bottom, but my understanding is it wasn't in the best condition, kind of a thin top, probably would have only been able to get about 20 for that, so it just wasn't worth the $6. This one, it looks like it's more of a linen piece. Again, this is plus size with the size 1X, which is great, but a little too basic, nothing too exciting, and not in the best condition. So again, definitely a brand I like to pick up at the bins, but just wasn't worth the price here. So there was definitely quite a bit of Free People in Anthropologie. She knows I'm pretty picky with Diletta. It just doesn't get a lot. Well, it's a cute lace blouse. It just wasn't in the best condition, not a great size, so she left that behind. And because my mom does have an antique booth, she is interested in hard goods when she goes out thrifting, but you can see that this is a large store with lots of hard goods and lots of clothing. So they definitely didn't lie in their email, but again, just really not too many great brands to resell. Here's a Zara top. Again, someone could find this and think it's adorable and think it's worth $6, but just not worthwhile to flip. Here's it looks like a vintage piece. She did look that one up, and it looks like the comps are about 10 to 15 for quite a few of these items, so just not worth it. So just to highlight some more brands that I think most of us see pretty often at the thrift store. They're not bad to purchase to wear on your own, but none of them really hold much of a resale value. Here's a Free People top, and while the color definitely probably stood out to her, I know her well, this is very heavily pilled, and Free People, it's got the tag dangling. It's just really got to be a great piece for me to pick it up. Here's a Theory top. It is a size large, but again, very worn looking, very wrinkled, so she passed on that. Here's a Maeve top that I'm surprised she even looked at the color red section because that's not her favorite, but I think she's trying to point out some pilling and some condition issues. And again, at $6 a pop for a lot of these tops, not a bad purchase for your own, just not a great resale value. So you'll actually see this one at the end of the video and I'll explain it, but this was a Stella McCartney Adidas collab item. Again, my mom was really having a hard time finding anything good, but she did grab that, so I'll share that at the end. And yeah, she didn't actually purchase any hard goods for herself for her antique booth. So again, it looks like it's maybe a combination of pallets, maybe some donations, maybe they're buying auction lots. Not really sure, but it wasn't a lot of high-end product. All right, so is this place worth it? I don't know. I don't think it's worth it for me and the type of stuff I like picking up at the price points I want. I don't mind paying up for things or even paying regular thrift store prices. I do appreciate flat pricing, but I also know they're resellers. They are based on their website, Amazon booksellers. They might have some connections with people in the reselling community who maybe pick out the best stuff. I don't know. I also don't know where they get their product from. It looked like maybe they had some pallets, some new, some pre-owned. It didn't look like there, according to my mom, was any donation spot outside that was very obvious. So I'm just not sure what their complete model is, but I do think it's always fun to check new places out. My mom did pick up 4 things, but she completely told me in advance that these were not things that I would probably pick up at a regular thrift store, just because I am becoming more and more selective these days at what I'm willing to spend on and what I want to take home to list and process. So the 4 things that she decided to pick up will probably sell for mostly around that 20, 25, maybe 30 mark. But at the flat pricing that they had, when you remove the fees and when you remove the cost of goods, it's not really what I'm going for these days when I'm outsourcing. So, and at these price points, I might pick up things if they're at the bins and they're only $2 an item versus, $5 or $6 an item. So the first item is this adorable little cardigan, lightweight cardigan. It's kind of got some dolman sleeves and really nice colorful print, which is why my mom thought it was a great spring item. This is a brand I've only picked up once or twice, and the tag says blank London. So this is sometimes, not all the time, sold at Anthropologie, and it's great because this is a one size fits most, so easy to throw on the mannequin, easy for someone to wear this spring with, a cute outfit. But while this did retail for probably in between $100 to $120, it looks like this probably will only resell for about $25. So I will probably be able to sell it, it just won't be a huge profit. All right, next up, she did grab the Stella McCartney. This was the Stella McCartney Adidas collab, and I have sold this a number of times, this brand. Now, while this exact top, there's some comps in, I think, around the 30 to 40 mark, I might get closer to 25 because it is missing the drawstring. And but it is still a great short sleeve top, another great spring workout item with a hood. You can throw this on over your workout tank and have just a little bit more to wear this spring. There's also some reflective components. I'm assuming this is reflective on the front. I don't think there's any on the back, but then again, it has the Stella McCartney back here. So yeah, I should be able to get probably right around 25 for this. I think I priced this a little bit high just to start because I was comparing to other listed items, but yeah, 25 to 30 is all I'm expecting for this. We the Free. I don't like spending a lot for free people unless it's a really, really fantastic item, but she picked this up because it is a nice spring color. It is a size large, and so yeah, but We the Free, size large. Even though it's kind of a tunic length, it is probably something just based off of the fit on the mannequin that on someone that's a size large, it would kind of hug around their waist and kind of ruche a little bit. So I think this is a fantastic spring item, especially with a pair of leggings or skinny jeans. I think that would be really cute, but I probably will only get maybe about 20 for this. So again, I understand why she wanted to pick up a few things to show some support and to get something for her time, but this is definitely not an item I would pay their regular thrift store prices. And then the last item, this is a vintage Solomon sweater. Not typically something I pick up a lot, but this is the only one she sent me a photo of and asked if I thought it was okay since there was some light pilling. Now this has a tag called Cirque. And I did find some hats that sold that were vintage, that were Cirque and Solomon. So this is made in the US, size large. It's a nice hoodie with a nice color to it, the navy and the orange and the white. So I think maybe a vintage person will want this. I think I threw this up on auction, to be honest, because I don't know. I could only find a couple hats that are Cirque and Solomon. But anyways, we'll see. I thought, why not? It's colorful, it'll photograph well, and always nice to take a chance on something different. So that's basically all she found. Thank you, Mom, for going out there. And who knows, maybe I'll check this place out down the road in 6 months. But for right now, I think it's a pass for me. I'm always going to be trying new thrift stores and sharing them with you guys, even if I personally don't go. Most of the time I do. But yeah, hit that thumbs up if you liked this style of video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.